All right, may I have the Southwest Management District Board members to sit down here, please, on this side? Southwest Board members, Southwest District Board members on this side. And I'm just going to do a quick run through for the commanders who are presenting from Midwest, Southwestern, and West Side. Commanders will enter from this side of the stage, and you'll introduce your Officer of the Year here at the podium. And then the Officer of the Year that's getting the awards, if you'll enter the stage through that side. So when we start the program, when we get to the awards, which will be after the video, then we'll ask the officer. Is Mr. John Holmes here yet? Okay, we will start in a few minutes because we said the live stream will start at 11. So again, just real quickly, the board members come into the stage, and that's also where the commanders. Okay. Let me see. I think we will be ready to start in another minute. All right, since we haven't started the live stream yet, can I ask Chief Finner Good morning. Welcome to the Southwest Management District's annual March on Crime Law Enforcement Appreciation Lunch. When we invited Executive Assistant Chief Troy Finner to be today's keynote speaker, no one could have anticipated that he would be Houston's next police chief. Normally, the keynote address comes later in the program. However, he is expected back at 1200 Travis for an 11:30 farewell lunch for outgoing Chief Acevedo. This will be a very seamless transition. Nevertheless, we wish both of them success in their future endeavors. And Southwest District will continue supporting Chief Finner. At this time, I'd like to invite HPD Chaplain Vincent Johnson to unite us in prayer this morning with the invocation.
Good morning, family and friends. Isn't it an honor to be back on the campus of Houston Baptist University? And the reason I say back on the campus because I'm a former student of HBU, and I am not surprised that they opened their doors. So thank you, HBU, for allowing us to be here today. Before I do the invocation, I want to ask that we have a moment of silence for Trooper Chad Walker, who gave the ultimate sacrifice while patrolling and trying to render aid to someone in need. So before I do the invocation, let's have a word of silence, please. Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for another day of life and love. We thank you, Master, for allowing us to be here today. We thank those who came to participate in this law enforcement appreciation luncheon. We thank you for the partnership that the Houston Police Department has with the Southwest District. We ask that you continue to bless those who are here today, and we ask that you continue to bless the citizens of Houston. We also ask a special prayer for appointed Chief of Police Troy Finner. Bless him, open his eyes, open his heart, and allow him to lead like he has never led before. Allow him to be the best police chief the city of Houston has ever seen. We thank you, Master, for all that you've done. We thank you, Master, for what you're going to do. And we thank you, Master, for what you are doing right now. The Bible declares, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." We thank you for this relationship. We thank you for this community. And we thank you that you allow us to unify here today. We thank you, Master. This is your servant's prayer in the precious and matchless and majestic name of your Son. Amen.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask both Vice Chair Fred Bandera and Chief Finner to make your way to the back of the stage. And I'm going to introduce Fred Bandera, who will be giving the introductory remarks on Troy Finner. So unfortunately, our chairman, Kenneth Lee, is unable to join us today. His mother recently passed away, so he is attending to her affairs in Taiwan. But he is here with us in spirit, and he also expresses his gratitude and support to incoming Chief Troy Finner. So let me welcome to the podium our Vice Chairman of Southwest District, and he also serves on the International District Board. Please welcome Fred Bandera.
Thank you, Alice. Let me introduce our guest speaker today. Chief Finner is a native Houstonian. He was born in the 5th Ward. He grew up in the Hiram-Clark area. He attended Medicine High School, and then he got his BS from Sam Houston University, and he got his master's in criminal law from the University of Houston Clear Lake. All of this while he was patrolling the streets of Houston. Actually, Chief Finner got his start in the Southwest area in the 17th District. So he's very familiar with our southwest area that's in the Southwest Management District. Chief Finner worked hard to provide leadership and relief during our disasters, during the Katrina refugee crisis, and also he was in the command center there, and during Harvey, he was in the command center. Chief Finner says that he wants to build community relations and community involvement in policing. I asked him, and he said his top priority is to reduce our homicide rate and the violent crime. He will expound more on his strategies to do so, while simultaneously building trust with the community, which is very important. Southwest District has always been very supportive of HPD. We have a very good relationship with HPD. We will continue to collaborate with HPD. With that said, I now give you Chief Finner.
Thank you, Mr. Fred, for the kind words. I want to start off by saying what a great honor and a privilege it is, after 31 years in a few days, to take over the department and lead. But it's not so much about the leader. It's about the collective love and support that I have from the community and the officers. We hadn't had any big gatherings with police officers to award them, but leave it up to our friends, Southwest District Management, our partners since 2005. I just want to thank the board, Allison Lee. I also want to thank Houston Baptist University for housing us here today. So a lot of words, a lot of questions and say, well, hey, how are you going to lead? What's your priorities? What are you going to do? It's real simple for me. I want to bring our officers together. I'm not too much of a political person, and it's so divisive right now. I want to get that out of our police department and bring our men and women in our community together. A lot of people have said, well, what about the criminal justice system? What about the cracks in it? Yeah, there are cracks in it. But to mend those cracks and move forward, we got to have honest communication with one another. The DAs, the judges, the police department, our county commissioners, everybody. I've been making calls already. We're going to have some meetings, but looking at specific strategies. We all have to come together in our communities. We have to focus in on those individuals who are committing the violent crime, those individuals. Because when we're backwards and forward, feuding with one another, guess who wins? Those violent criminals. So that's a big part of my administration. But just moving forward, I want to just thank everybody. I know we have some assistant chiefs here, and I don't want to miss anybody. I want to acknowledge, but we got some of our great commanders here. Thank you, and thank the men and women on the front line. Now, let me back up and talk a little bit about this part of the city and the Southwest Management District. No stranger to me. A lot of people don't realize, yeah, I was born in Fifth Ward and raised in Hiram Clark, but my law enforcement career began in Old Beach Nut, 17th District, which encompasses Gulfton and the Fondren Division. So that's where I cut my teeth. That's where I learned to be a police officer. And I want to just acknowledge some of my old trainers, Barry McDonald, Michael Franco, people like that who put into me and showed me how to police. So I'm just grateful today. I don't have a long time. I got to get back downtown and have another meeting, but I love this community. And I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, Southwest Management. Keep doing what you're doing, Midwest, South Gessner, West Side. Thank you for the great leadership. Thank you for the partnerships. But let's be honest, we got some tough roads ahead. Just because there's a new chief, it doesn't mean that we're going to turn everything around overnight. It's not going to happen. And I'm going to be honest and frank about that. But never underestimate the heart and the love of this great city with the great citizens. We can do anything, and we're going to get this crime stats, we're going to get them down. I'm sure of that. And we're going to do everything that we can do to move everybody forward. So I'm really excited, but just remember this, not so much about the leader. It's about this great community. It's about the great men and women who are on the front line. I looked at a few questions that y'all wanted me to ask, and they wanted to say something about the challenges of last year. And it was tough, but it was tough on everybody. I can remember when COVID first hit, we didn't even have proper PPE, and our patrol commanders and patrol officers, y'all remember that. And I just want to stand here today and thank y'all, because we were so low, we had to put PPE in plastic bags and issue them out every shift, and then if you didn't use it, we had to turn it back in for the next person. So when people are being negative about police and you hear the negative talk, remember what we did and what we do every day, because I'll never forget that commitment. So when a lot of other occupations were able to shelter in place, quarantine at your home, work virtually, we had to get out there and get it. So I'll never forget that, and thank you so much. And then for us to lose in a little over a year time, 5 officers. I've been here 31 years. Never experienced that. But we're still standing, and we're standing because of strong relationships and support from our community. So just remember that. And one thing that's so important, and you're going to see in my administration, I want all parts of our police department to reflect our community. How can we serve people if we don't hear them? How can we serve people effectively if we don't have people who speak the language? Because that's true service. When you listen to people and you sit down, even if your perceptions are different from one another, but you sit down at a table and you have honestly conversations to try to understand where people are. And the police department job is to crush crime, but also meet the good people where they are and lift them up. So that's what I intend to do, and I know I didn't have a lot of time. I love this city. I love this district, and I'm so grateful. And I want to say this, a lot of people do talking and closing. They talk, but they don't do a lot of work, and their pockets are closed. Southwest Management District, your pocket has always been open to HPD and your heart, and I thank you for that, and we'll continue to move forward. I see a lot of, if you're a lady, it's not an old friend, it's a long-time friend, okay? But a lot of longtime friends out here in the audience that I haven't seen in a few months, and I'm so glad. In Southwest, I'm telling Houston, they took the lead and opened some things back up because of Houston Baptist University and allowed us to exercise social distance, but get officers in here to let them know that we love them. And I know that we're going to recognize 3 officers from the 3 divisions. I won't be able to be here, but I'm going to be looking at it later on this evening on tape. Thank you for the excellence, okay? And thank you even the officers who are not receiving anything. Thank you for what you do every day. Thank y'all.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Chief Finner. Well, so we did give Chief Finner his award, and kind of like the Academy Awards, his award was given during the commercial break. So, but anyway, we wish him well, and we want to be here to help him succeed during his term, his administration. At this time, I'd like to focus your attention to the screen, and we will show a short video. And after that, I'm going to introduce you to our Public Safety Chair. So please pay attention to the screen. Thank you. The top job in the Southwest Management District is public safety, protecting our kids, our shoppers, our businesses. The district hires private security patrols, provides special police training, removal of gang graffiti, and it strengthens ties with law enforcement leaders. Our community is strong, and so is the truth. I just want to quickly mention that our board of directors, they serve voluntarily. Majority of them are also assessment payers, and they truly reflect the diversity of our community. And it is my privilege to introduce you to Peter Aquero, and he is our Public Safety Committee Chair.
Thank you, Alice, and thank you all for being here today. Chapter 375 of the Texas Local Government Code is what created the municipal management districts. Since 2005, Southwest Management District has been operating as a supplement, not a supplant, of city municipal services. This is very important because this information tends to get missed. The March on Crime event, a year ago, we were here in this space, had a lot more people, a lot more faces, and we were celebrating a lot of different things. But we were faced with what was about to happen that we didn't know was COVID. This was one of the last events. This is one of the last events that we were all together. We got to see each other face to face. I'm so glad that we were able to get this event back today to be able to recognize those men and women in the room that have been working tirelessly over the past year. We're able to provide this premier event. This is one of the management district's premier events every single year. And it's one of our most proudest events, and we're so thankful for our partners. We couldn't do it without HBU. We couldn't do it without the Houston Apartment Association providing the RCR program, the rental crediting reporting. Okay? This is what helps us provide stability within families in multifamily complexes. It's an important program. If you're not familiar with the RCR program, please reach out to us at the district. Please reach out to the Houston Apartment Association. Our representative, Tina DiFiore, is going to help us with some awards today. She's here. Ask questions. If you're a manager at an apartment complex and don't understand the program or need help understanding the program, they do regular outreach visits, albeit virtually right now, but they're happy to help. And this really helps with a lot of the issues within multifamily complexes to making sure that families are safe. So it's very, very important. As one of the tenets of the Southwest Management District Public Safety, we go beyond what's just our daily operations. Some of those daily operations include litter abatement, street light surveys, making sure that we can see at night, private security partners through partnering with SEAL Security. A number of those officers are here in the room today as well. Thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for your partnership with not only us as a district, but HPD. We've developed a great relationship and open lines of communication to support that. Thank you to Councilmember Pollard's office. It's important that we all work together, as Chief Finner said, as we move forward. Additionally, what the Public Safety Committee does, not only do we open lines of communications, but at our meetings, we have monthly meetings. We invite the public to come every month. We have our local commanders, Angelo, Reed, and Lopez, at our meetings. We have Chief Bainbridge at our meetings. we are able to communicate with them directly and find out what is going on in the district and apply relational policing opportunities immediately. We also provide strategic hotspot camera placing through Zaladian. This is in partnership with HPD. What is going on? What are the opportunities? What are the hotspots? Where can we strategically put these things and help make an immediate impact? We also offer off-duty relational proactive policing programs through overtime and DRT. Support and education training programs for our officers. We have another number of commanders here that have been promoted out of the district that are doing other things. Their commitment to our district continues the communication. This is what leadership means from the Southwest Management District. It's not just serving here and leaving and using us as a stepping stone. They come back and they help us. And I am so excited to see them here today. Thank you for all being here. We support community relational policing programs such as the RAD, which is the Rape Aggression Defense Training. We also helped buy the equipment for the entire city. We certified the officers so they can do the training. HBU has sponsored some of those classes. The Explorers program, Blue Santa, Back to School backpack programs. When COVID hit, we have distributed, and through our officers and our community, thousands of pounds of PPE, food, worked with our council member's office to help distribute food, worked with HBU to provide the space to do it. These are all the things. When there is a need, the management district steps up when asked to do so, and we try to provide the proactive approaches to do what is necessary. And that's what public safety is about. Alice just shared with you, through our volunteer board, the Southwest Management District advocates on behalf of the community and leverages resources with all of our stakeholders. Not only is it HPD, the Civic Association, HBU, our assessment payers, our residents, but we also listen to our patrons, the people that are coming to visit the district. We believe keeping the community safe, to shop, live, learn, worship, visit, and enjoy is a shared responsibility. Thank you again to our partners, HBU, RCR, and HAA. Thank you, Chief Finner, for being here. And I'm honored to be one of the first organizations for you to speak at. Thank you, all of the brothers and sisters in law enforcement in this room. Thank you for all you've done over the past year. It has not been an easy year. Thank you, Chief Bainbridge. Thank you, Commander Angelo, Reed, Lopez. And I know there's other commanders here that we've worked with tightly in the past and that continue. Commander Tien, Commander Bashir, Commander Bellamy. If I missed anybody, I apologize. And I just want to say congratulations and recognize our officers today. Thank you to all of you in law enforcement, and thank you for your service. And thank you for your families. That's the most important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And some of you may recall from Peter's previous speeches that he is from a law enforcement family. His father was with the NYPD, so he speaks from the heart. And he serves truly for the community. At this time, I'd like to just quickly acknowledge and thank all the board members from the various management districts who are here. Of course, this event is our signature event sponsored by the Southwest Management District, but we also have board members representing Brays Oaks, Five Corners, International, Hobby. We also have from the tax increment reinvestment zones, zone number 1, number 20, and also 25 are represented. Today, we also are joined by District J Councilmember Ed Pollard and his Chief of Staff, Paul Young. And what an innovation that Councilmember Pollard brought to HPD. He brought us the District J Police Patrol, and he donated 2 Polaris vehicles, one to Midwest and one to South Gessner. And that committee is served by 10 community members, and they work very closely in that regard. We also have Julia Retta from Councilmember Abby Kamen's office. Councilmember Kamen chairs the Council Committee on Public Safety and Homeland Security. Please forgive her because she just had a baby and cannot join us today, but we also want to continue to support her in her leadership role at the city. We also have Jake Bro from State Representative Jean Wu's office. From the Taipei Economic Cultural Office, we have Vice Counsel Wei-Ling Chen and Education Director Andrea Young. They also are hoping to work with HPD again to offer the Mandarin training classes that they sponsored in past years. We also have representatives from the mayor's complete communities, including Gulfton and Alief. And we also want to thank all of our commanders. As Peter mentioned, we have former commanders from West Side. Commander Fallis is here. Also, we have former Midwest Commander James Dale. He is here with his father. And we also have Midwest former Commander Bashir, as well as our former commander from South Gessner, who is now an assistant chief. We have Ban Tien. We also work very closely with Southwest Commander Jonathan Halliday. You know, even though Southwest doesn't really serve the Southwest District, but they help us catch criminals too, because, you know, criminals do not stop at the borders. So, yeah, this event kind of serves as our State of the District event as well. So I just wanted to take a point of personal privilege to add to what Peter explained about our services and our collaboration with Houston Police Department. So yes, when we met last year for March on Crime, it was right before the county's stay home, work safe order. Even though we did not wear masks at the time, we were diligently washing our hands, doing the elbow or fist bumps, and practicing social distancing. 6 weeks prior to that, Chinatown businesses were losing revenues due to a rumor of the novel coronavirus affecting a grocery store worker. Early on, the rumors were spreading faster than the virus itself. The Asian American Pacific Islander community, and more specifically, the Chinese American community, was the first to donate masks, hand sanitizers, and other personal protective equipment to healthcare workers and first responders. In April, we formed the Asian Americans Salute Frontline Heroes and raised $100,000 to purchase meals from dozens of local restaurants who were struggling to stay open. Hot meals were delivered to essential workers in hospitals, nursing homes, City Hall, Metro Transit Authority, and to law enforcement entities. Asian American Salute Frontline Heroes also made a contribution to the George Floyd Foundation at Jack Yates High School and to the Anti-Defamation League of Houston, which, along with the American Jewish Committee, stood early on with the AAPI community to condemn the anti-Asian sentiment and hate crimes that plagued our nation. Nearly 4,000 incidents have been reported nationwide in an 11-month period. Southwest District is working with Houston Police Department to schedule a virtual town hall meeting for the AAPI community in light of the heightened fear after the Atlanta murders. Southwest District had already increased SEAL security patrols throughout all of our business corridors, and Houston Police Department also increased its patrols in predominantly Asian communities the morning after the Atlanta tragedy. Mayor Turner, Congressman Al Green, Council members Pollard and Thomas joined public health officials and State Representative Jean Wu and held press conferences, town hall meetings, and brought their staff members to eat in Chinatown and Asiatown. Together, we distributed masks, food, we did census outreach, encouraged the community to get tested for COVID, and now to get registered for the vaccine. Food insecurity was prevalent. 77036 and 77074 tested highest for COVID and hospitalizations during the summer months. And our board members were leading the efforts, working in the trenches, looking out for the community's well-being in order to build back the economy. We thank every one of you for your leadership and commitment. Lastly, I just want to show this metaphor. It is easy to break one chopstick. However, if we band together and stand as one community, you will not be able to break this bundle of chopsticks. And that is where we are today. We don't live in a bubble, although we do kind of live in a bubble right now with COVID, but we will lead. We will build back better. And it is really up to each and every one of you to continue supporting Houston Police Department, our healthcare workers, Memorial Hermann Hospital System, all the entities that are represented here today. We could not have done this without you. So yes, hindsight is 2020, but what a year 2020 ended up being. At this time, I would like to invite Tina DiFiore to help backstage. We would also like to have the Officers of the Year to go ahead and stage themselves backstage. And I'd like to invite our board members to come back up, and we'll stage yourself on stage for pictures, and ask Commanders Jennifer Reed, Vidal Lopez, and David Angelo to proceed to the stage. And this is the moment we are waiting for. I know we had a lot of discussion internally whether or not we should continue to do this event this year. Of course, not every event can be held virtually on Zoom, and we just want to thank Houston Baptist University for giving us this opportunity to have this event, because our officers have worked so hard during the year, and this is just our small way of continuing to support them. And can I ask Councilmember Pollard to join us too on stage? Please, Councilmember Pollard. Okay. Okay, so at this time, we will have Commander Jennifer Reed to tell us why they chose their Officer of the Year. And let me just say something real quickly about all three commanders. I think they all just started their post last year in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. And we are just so thrilled and grateful that we have been able to build a great relationship with them. Commander Reed.
Good morning. Midwest would like to recognize Senior Police Officer, Officer Dean Nguyen, as our Officer of the Year. Officer Dean Nguyen is a 9-year veteran of the Houston Police Department, and he's an exceptional employee. He is currently assigned to the Midwest Differential Response Team and is also our IFR investigative first responder. He has been given several cases that needed immediate investigation. Within a week or so, charges were filed and the suspects were apprehended. He is an employee who's highly committed to his job and very passionate about his work. He's one of the most productive officers at our station. In 2020, he completed 256 original and supplemental reports, 21 accident crash reports, filed 13 felonies and 46 misdemeanor charges, as well as issuing over 100+ citations. He has established himself within the communities of 18 District as the go-to officer for the Midwest Division. His dedication makes him one of the most valuable employees we have. In all that he does, he's professional, respectful, and provides a quality of service that the communities expect. He is worth receiving the recognition as well as Officer of the Year award. It is an honor to serve with him. Congratulations, Officer Nguyen.
Thank you. We'd like you to stay on the stage too. Okay. At this time, let me introduce you to Commander Vidal Lopez from South Gessner Division.
Hello, everyone. The South Gessner Division has chosen Officer Thomas Connor. Officer Connor joined the Houston Police Department in 1991, making 2021 his 30th year of service to the citizens of Houston. After his preliminary training, he transferred to the Southwest Division, where he was subsequently assigned to the Fondren storefront in 1995. He then moved to the South Gessner Division when we opened our doors in 2011. In other words, Tom has spent approximately 25 years responding to the citizens of 17 District. Officer Connor spent over 10 years training new officers and currently works as a mentor to young officers as they hone their new skills. For many years, Officer Connor has worked as a radar unit for the district. One of his duties is to respond to the citizens' traffic issues around the neighborhood and businesses. In 2020, Officer Connor responded to 143 traffic enforcement requests, 130 alert slips in the district. His response to the community requests for assistance and enforcement resulted in 838 traffic stops, 816 moving citations, 1,012 non-moving citations, and 130 parking citations with 60 warnings. He didn't stop there. He also responded to 434 calls for service and had 30 on-view investigations, completed 81 offense reports, and made sure that our speed trailer was where it was most needed. Officer Connor's commitment to responding to neighborhood, business, and quality of life issues, his enthusiasm in mentoring HPD's newest officers, and his loyalty and dedication to 17 District for most of his 30-year career makes Tom the South Gessner Police Officer of the Year. Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, please welcome Commander David Angelo from Westside.
Good morning, and thank you, Alice. Thank you for your support to HPD and the entire Southwest Board. So Westside has nominated a very special officer by the name of Anna Burtons for the Southwest Management District Award. In her almost 3.5 years as an officer in the Houston Police Department, Anna has demonstrated superb knowledge of police department procedures, and she handles herself in dealing with the public beyond reproach. So let me tell you a little bit about her history with HPD. She began her career on November 13th, 2017, having joined Police Academy Class number 234. And she graduated as a sworn police officer on May 17th, 2018. In her short time on the department, Anna has demonstrated herself well beyond most officers of her experience level. For instance, she was named as the department's Rookie of the Year in 2018, a high honor for any new officer. As she developed her skills for patrol duties, she again distinguished herself by being chosen to participate in an experimental unit where she, along with other officers, were hand-selected for this assignment and were sent to districts with high crime areas. And the goal of this program was to flood high crime areas with officers who could go one step beyond what normal patrol officers do by attempting to conduct the follow-up investigations, get the warrants, and immediately clear the cases. So she was hand-selected for this assignment. Further, while continuing her patrol duties, Officer Burtons consistently has been a high producer for both traffic stops and arrests. She is also tenacious when performing her duties. So let me just give you a quick example of one of these calls for service she responded to. So back on patrol in September of 2020, Anna was the first to arrive at an aggravated robbery of an Amazon delivery truck driver where he was robbed at gunpoint and his vehicle was stolen along with all of the packages. While at the scene, as the primary officer, she coordinated communication with the dispatcher, the responding patrol units, and providing timely witness information, which led to her locating the Amazon truck at an apartment complex where the suspect was observed unloading the packages. She was able to secure the suspect. She obtained a voluntary confession from the suspect, and he was charged with aggravated robbery, and we recovered all of the Amazon packages. In addition to her outstanding patrol duties, Anna was one of 2 officers selected last year to be a part of City Council District F Youth Conference, which was hosted by Councilmember Tiffany Thomas. Also in attendance in this youth conference was U.S. Congressman Joaquin Castro of the 20th Congressional District of Texas. This youth conference was really spearheaded by the police reform movement last year that started with the goal to have an open and honest conversation between our youth, our leaders of our community, as well as law enforcement, to have an open and honest conversation about what was occurring and how do we reduce that social distance that was currently occurring between law enforcement and our community. It is no wonder that in 2020 alone, Anna received a total of 20 commendations. She has proven herself to be a great asset to the Houston Police Department. Her contributions and dedication to the department and to the citizens are enormous. It is for these reasons that West Side Division has nominated Anna Burtons to receive the Southwest Management District Office of the Year. Anna, thank you and congratulations.
Let's give all of them a big round of applause. We'd like to thank Houston Baptist University, my alma mater, for hosting us again this year. We'd like to thank Houston Apartment Association for hosting and sponsoring the awards, my Southwest Management District Board for your support. I'd like to thank Annie Trin and Alan Bernstein. They're my A-team. EV1 Productions, also Ben Brewer, who is the Executive Director for Braes Oaks District and the General Manager for the Five Corners District, as well as the support team from Houston Baptist University. It's always a great pleasure to be back here hosting this event. And hopefully next year, we'll be able to come back in full force and enjoy a hot buffet like we always do out in the foyer. So unfortunately today, on the way out, you'll be able to pick up a box lunch, and we hope that you enjoy that on the way out. And like I said, thank you very much for your time. There's lots of time for you to socialize. We have the banners outside if you want to take some pictures. And let's thank everyone here from the Houston Police Department. Thank you, and that concludes our program this year. Thank you.